All right, you know what time it is. Once again, as usual, times are about that time. Note to self time already, motherfucking. If you don't know, now you know, bitch. Trend into it. Let's do this motherfucking shit now. This video that I'm about to make is going to be a little different. It's going to be a reaction video. I haven't made those in a while. Supposedly there's this new song out by this country singer that goes by the name of Jason Aldean or Aldean, however you pronounce it. His song is called "Try That in a Small Town." Apparently, the song has gone viral. It's hit #1 on the charts. There's a lot of controversy behind the song because people are saying that the song is racist. The song is, it incites violence and, it goes against Black Lives Matter and all this other shit. And I just want to see what this racism is all about, if the song is racist or not, like everyone is saying. I'm trying to see exactly what everyone is talking about. I want to know if I'm missing something or because I hear that, there's people, that had negative things to say about it on the Young Turks. They had negative things to say about it with on The View, Roland Martin, and all of these people. They had negative things to say about the song. I mean, well, not Roland Martin specifically, but his crew, the people that work for Roland Martin. But anyways, I just want to find out for myself: is it actually really racist, like how everyone? Is it really racist, as they really say that it is, or is it just a bunch of wokies complaining, like how they always and usually do? But anyways, without further ado, we're going to listen to the song. Oh, it's got a good beat so far. I'm kind of fucking with it. Let's bring it back. Let's bring that shit back.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
Okay, so nothing racist about it so far. They're saying sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, and then they're saying carjack an old lady, rob somebody at the liquor store. All of these things to me sound like the actions of someone who was a criminal. And honestly, if you attribute that to race, or if you're looking for the racism in that, then you might be the problem. Because I remember back in 2015, you remember it was 2015, I think 2017, there was like this, the knockout game going on where a bunch of people, a bunch of teenagers, young people, they would walk up to old people and just punch them in the face, knock them out, shit like that. He's talking about basically criminals, people who hurt other people, cause harm, kill, rob, steal from people, and just fuck with people for no reason. He's saying to those people, don't try that shit with us. I don't see the racism in that. And then the people that they're trying that with are people who are defenseless, weak, old people, people that they know that they can fuck with. If anything, it sounds to me like a song it sounds to me like one of those songs that is just like standing up to bad guys and bad people and criminals. Like the song Cops, bad boys, what you gonna do? It's like that. I don't see the racism. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe something's going over my head, but I just don't see it. I'm trying to see it, but I just can't. Like, it sounds more like a patriotic song of like people, need to stand up for themselves, stand up for what's right, look out for each other, lend a helping hand, to people who are in need, stand up to bad guys, stand up to the criminals, make this world a better place for the people in your community. I don't see the racism in that. And then there's certain places, in small towns where it's like everybody knows everybody, people get involved. If anything happens to anybody, whether or not you like someone or not, there's going to be people who are going to step for you. And they have their own way of dealing with criminals, and everybody treats each other like kin. Anything bad happens in their neighborhood, the whole city is round up to take care of the criminals and the bad guys, the evil elements of society. To be honest, if more people stood up against criminals in that same way, then the world and other places, would be a safer place to live in. But instead, you have people who are too afraid of the criminals. We live in a world where people are afraid of criminals. They don't want to stand up to criminals because they don't want to die. They don't want to be next. So it's just like everybody keeps their mouth shut. I think this song goes against the whole no snitching and just, being afraid of criminals. Like they're going to stand up to the criminal element of their society and just fight tooth and nail if they have to, putting their lives on the line to protect what it is that they hold near and dear, like their family, their country, I mean, that's what it's giving to me. Maybe I'm wrong. And then it's like we live in a backwards ass world. We live in a world that's so backwards that it's like these wokies, these Generation Z liberals, and all of these fucking libtards, they will do everything in their power to. It's like it's gotten to a point to where they're taking up for the criminals. They're taking up for the people who terrorized other people. They're taking up for the rioters, the looters, the murderers, the killers. It's like the laws protect the criminals more than they protect the regular civilians. Somebody breaks into your house and you shoot them. You're the one going to jail. Everybody's mad at you for shooting someone who broke into your house because they want to justify the criminal's actions by saying, well, what he was going to steal is less valuable than his life. You taking his life is more valuable than what he would have stolen. When he's the one who broke into your shit, you don't know if he's armed. He probably would have killed you or your family. I don't know, man. It's just, we live in a backwards ass society that takes up for criminals and not actually the regular people. I really feel like the only people who will be offended by this type of music, by this video, is like the radical fucking BLM, the fucking wokey, the wokey black people who are super radical, like BLM, or like the fucking white knights, white saviors who are trying to get brownie points from black people, the fucking allies and all this fucking bullshit, like the liberals and just the most stupidest, most dumbest, trying to look for anything to be offended by ass motherfuckers. Those are the only people who are gonna take an issue with the song. But anyways, in the small towns, they got their own way of dealing with criminals. They don't just rely on the fucking police. They have a community of their own that when the police can't catch you, we will. When you're living in a big city where people don't care and everybody minds their own business, they fear the criminals. And it's easy to take out the civilians individually. And then you have people on the case that are police officers that really don't give a fuck about you, nor are they invested in you like that, to where they're incentivized to actually even protect the people that they're getting paid to serve, that they're getting paid to protect against the criminals. Like they don't like, and then they're saying the song promotes violence. It's not promoting violence. It's just saying, listen, we don't want to fight, but if you are trying to fight against us, or if you, like the person who is perpetrating the violence is you. But if you try the same shit that you're trying everywhere else here in our town, we're going to fucking deal with you. That's not inciting violence. If anything, that's standing up to the bullies of the world. And I approve this message. But anyways, let's just continue on with the rest of the song. All right, let's bring the video back some if we can. Hold on.
We'll try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. That my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town.
Like, I feel like this song would be like, I feel like nobody would have a problem with this song. Like, if this song was like made in an earlier time, like this song is like, it bleeds out like patriotism and standing up for what's right, standing up for your country, standing up for, you know, just against the bad guys of the world, you know? It's more of a, like, if this song was made in 2001 with the fucking terrorist attacks, that shit, I guarantee you people would be in love with this guy. But because now we live in a wokey generation where everything is offensive, cancel culture, PC police, everybody's just such a pussy and is just so offended by everything. I think this video really strikes a nerve with the, you know, with the sensitive wokies of the world, the liberals, the radical, just fucking people that just are a disease. We live in a world where patriotism is bigotry. It's cool to hate America. Hating America is trendy, you know? Like, you will big up a city where you're from, but then say fuck the country that houses the city that you're in, which is fucking weird to me. Now I understand, you know, America has its issues with the racism and all of that shit. I'm not denying that, or I'm not taking away those experiences from anyone, but all I'm trying to simply say is anything you don't like about America, those laws can be changed, you know? Especially for black people, you know, we should encourage our black children, you know, to, you know, be members of Congress, you know, so then these laws can change from the inside. Instead of, you know, bigging up being entertainers and celebrities and fucking basketball players and shit, why don't you encourage kids to, you know, work inside of Congress, you know, legislation, so then that way they could be able to change laws, you know, that indirectly affect black people. If we want to change things in America, we got to change it from the inside. Anyways, I'm just rambling on. I'm going to continue.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right.
He said, fuck around and find out. For the good old boys. Like good country music. I'm fucking with it.
Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Round here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Ooh, try that in a small town.
So that's the end of the song. All right. What do I think? Well, I think the song was good. I like the beats. I like the singing, the guitar. The interlude was kick-ass. Do I see the racism in it? I mean, with the video scenes of the riots and the fucking, you know, Black Lives Matter shit going on in the back there. Like, there are so many scenes that he showed of people of all races rioting. It wasn't just black people. Now, see, if in the song he was, you know, calling black folks niggers and saying fuck black people or having anything subtle to do with racism, like, then I'd understand, you know, the racism. But like, I could see how they could, you know, how some of the images could be perceived as racist, but I don't think it is racist. It's like, you know, he has all of these people rioting, all these people looting, stealing, burning the flag, disrespecting the country, killing people, stealing, robbing, beating people up. It's just breaking cars, damaging property, you know, some of the most, you know, violent scenes going on, lots of fire, you know. I mean, those are people, I mean, he's, I think, I mean, I could see how it could be interpreted as racist or whatever, but it's not racist in my opinion, you know. But my thing is, you're gonna have a lot of wokies and people who are gonna try to look for racism in anything, you know. You're gonna look for the racism where it isn't there. I think the people who are calling the video racist are stupid. You know, there's fucking the fucking white knight, white savior liberals, the fucking allies, and they always try to find racism and shit to try to tell black people what they should be offended by. When shut the fuck up, if we're not offended by it, then why are you? And then, you know, it's just so stupid. It's like these white liberals, they try to tell black people what they should be offended by, and you know, the black people are just so, it's almost as if they think that we can't think for ourselves enough, that we, you know, and we're gonna fall for being offended by some bullshit that they say that we should be offended by. So because they told us it was offensive, we should automatically take offense to it. And then the black people that think for themselves, in the words of Joe Biden, you ain't black, and it's just like, this generation is stupid. There's nothing racist about it. I think that the people from The View, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny, all of them, they made a big deal out of nothing in that fucking video. There was nothing racist about it, you know? If anything, I mean, him saying, you know, none of his words were even racist. Nothing that he said was racist. I mean, the only people who will interpret it as racist are, you know, people who want to try to use their race as a way to absolve themselves of the criminal acts that they're doing. You know, I'm gonna do some fucked up ass shit and then, you know, try to use my race as a way to absolve me from any accountability. You know, it's like, it's bullshit, man. You know, I remember I used to work at a Home Depot where I used to work. There was a lot of fucking people that used to steal there. I mean, primarily, there's this one dude I seen stealing. This motherfucker stole like $300, $400 worth of shit. And this motherfucker, ironically enough, was wearing a Black Lives Matter fucking mask over his fucking face. Just disgracing the race, man. How the fuck are you going to, you know, chant Black Lives Matter and then steal from motherfuckers, man? Like stealing, breaking property and shit like that. Like, how the fuck is that taking up for the death of George Floyd or all these people who have died from police brutality? Even if I'm against the way that the police handled, you know, certain things, you know, the way that they handle certain cases when it comes to black people getting killed unjustly by the police. What is looting gonna do? And then they make it to where the people who you're looting from, yes, they have insurance, but they're not making any money because they're gonna keep, they have to keep on. First of all, they got insurance to cover it, but you know, they're not making any money because all of their shit keeps getting destroyed with all the riots. It's gonna be harder to get insurance in places like this because all the places that you're rioting against, how all the insurance companies have to fix, or, you know, they're going to have to replace all of the damages that the people have inflicted on those small businesses, and it's going to make it to where those people are going to have to move away. And then you're going to call it racism when they decide to move. When they decide, well, we're just not going to conduct business in this side of town anymore because there's a shit ton of riots. And then the insurance is going to go up because all of the riots happening, it's like high risk, you know? It's just like in places where there's high probabilities of car accidents. Premiums are gonna skyrocket. It's gonna be that much more expensive for those small businesses that you're looting to even afford insurance. And because they can't afford it, they'd have to do business somewhere else. So you're hurting other people in the process of you demanding justice, but really, all you wanted was a new pair of shoes. You don't give a fuck about the person that you claim to be fighting for. Like, I seriously do not see the racism in somebody saying, hey, you know, there's several reports of people's houses being broken into, you know, people getting beat up, robbed, killed in their houses. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker, try that shit in my house and see how far, see if you'll make it outside. That's fucking racist. That's inciting violence. If you see a dude walking around and all he does is beat on women and you're like, try that shit with me. Try that shit with a man. How the fuck is that like? How the fuck are you gonna look at the person who said that as they're wrong? Because they see shit happening and you're causing destruction in other places. And I'm saying, dude, try that shit with me. They know not to try that shit with motherfuckers that'll fight back. They do that shit to people who are weak and defenseless. Yeah, this song is just telling people to stand up. It's telling normal people to stop being afraid and stand up for what's right. It's calling neutral people to task. It's calling them to task to be like, do something about what it is that's going on instead of complaining about it, instead of being afraid of it, instead of keeping to yourself. I mean, this song is more so of a call. It's a call to arms. And I think it's so funny how it's like, you know, in rap songs, black people could talk about, you know, how they're from Chicago, they're from the hood, they're from 63rd, they're from, you know, 5th Ward, 8 Mile, all of this fucking shit that black people say that they're from and don't mess with us down here. But the moment a white person says, don't mess with us down here, that's fucking racist. You can rep your city in white songs. I mean, you can rep your city in rap songs all you want. But the moment you rep your city in a country song, that's fucking racist. White supremacy. I don't get it. Well, maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. But anyways, what do I give this song? This song keeps on playing over and over in my head. Driving in a small town. I don't know. I give that shit. Give that shit a solid 8 point. I'd say 8.5 out of 10. I give this song. It's a good song. I might just have that shit on my playlist when I'm driving on the road. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, just let me know what you think in the comment sections below. That's pretty much all I have to say. But until then, I'm out. You already know what it is, and it's good to be back. You already know what it is. This is the underdog motherfucking soldier. I have spoken. And I approve this message. Deuces. I'm gonna let the song play out at the end.
Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that